We could be on the verge of breakthroughs in the fight against one of the deadliest cancers. A new study shows A1 tools, or AI tools, I should say, can flag the pancreatic cancer much sooner than traditional methods. And the FDA is fast-tracking access to a promising new treatment for the disease.
It is a new potentially promising treatment. Ahead of the final application that is on its way to the FDA, I'm proud to report that the FDA has granted a green light for the expanded access application that we received 2 days prior to us giving the green light. That is, we turned it around in 2 days.
Let's bring in family and emergency medicine doctor Janette Nesheiwat. Dr. Nesheiwat, I've learned more about pancreatic from a non-doctor, Ben Sass, because I've been listening to some of the very inspiring podcasts that he's been participating in. But he's reporting good results, and I just want to ask you about this new treatment, daraxonrasib, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes. Yes. You know, what this medicine does is it helps block the signals, John, that tell the cells to rapidly grow. So it sort of kind of slams the brake on it. And what it has been found to do is extend life by a little bit more than a year compared to placebo. And, former Senator Ben Sass is using it now in a compassionate use manner. I believe he has, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. We're all praying for him. And so this is a step in the right direction when it comes to treatments and therapeutics for pancreatic cancer, because it's one of the most deadliest cancers, and it's very hard to detect early, which makes it, have a 5-year survival rate of about only 12%.
Yeah. Ben Sass was on 60 Minutes, and here's one of the things he had to say about that trial. He said, "I have much, much less pain than I had 4 months ago when I was diagnosed, and I have a massive 76% reduction in tumor volume over the last 4 months." That's something to write home about. He's made it plain that he's far from out of the woods, but any reduction in pain with a cancer like that is huge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, John. This isn't just about extending your life, but also improving your quality of life while your life is extended by this medication, which again is about 13 months extension, which is really phenomenal. And I'm hoping that perhaps maybe by the end of this year, it might reach and be able to have the full FDA approval so that it can continue to be used in maybe early stages of cancer or precancerous stages, for example. And you combine that with new tools and artificial intelligence, we could potentially see many lives saved, because as it is right now, John, we have more than 50,000 Americans in this country who die every single year from pancreatic cancer. More than 67,000 are diagnosed with it every year. So that just tells you that the majority of them are losing their lives. And this is so phenomenal to see that we're having new tools, new technologies, new medicines and therapeutics to help treat patients, to help save lives, and to help improve their quality of life.
You have provided our viewers with your list of tips on how to avoid pancreatic cancer. One of them, don't smoke. That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Nutritious diet. I'll get into that with you in just a second, but stay active. Limit your alcohol intake because it can inflame the pancreas. And see your doctor for routine physicals. That last one, a lot of people overlook. But let's talk about the nutritious diet. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, vegetables, fruits loaded with antioxidants, which can help combat inflammation in your body. The word pancreatitis, that means inflammation of the pancreas. And so if your body is in a state of inflammation constantly, that can put you at a higher risk of certain cancers. Obesity is also another risk factor for pancreatic cancer. New onset of diabetes could be another risk factor for pancreatic cancer. But smoking, per the CDC, you're at a higher risk if you are a smoker. And that's one of the greatest modifiable risk factors to prevent pancreatic cancer is to not smoke. And the reason, John, alcohol plays a role here is too much alcohol intake can result in pancreatitis, recurrent pancreatitis, is also a risk factor for pancreatic cancer. In addition, there are some people, it's out of their control if you have a genetic mutation, if there's a family history, if you're older age. So many things that we can control, although there are, for the majority, we can't. But having, again, the tools and the technology and the therapies can certainly make a difference, especially with this new radiology AI technology that we're seeing that just came out of the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah. Well, good advice there. I join you in offering prayers for former Senator Ben Sasse, and I would tell our viewers, if you have a podcast platform, look up one of his recent podcasts. In fact, he's doing one of his own now too, because they are quite interesting and inspirational. Dr. Janette Nesheiwat.
You're right.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, John. And
you bet.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.